Good morning.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Apologies. Can't believe there's one of us. There should be some more. How are you, Mac? How are you, Patricia?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you, Bayo?
Very well. I'm just going to start chasing some people.
It's all good. I'll chat to Patricia in the meantime.
Spotlight.
On the spotlight is all good. Patricia, where are you based?
Croydon.
Croydon, excellent stuff. And what is it that you do?
I'm a movement coach, so I help people reduce their joint aches and pains and sort of make sure that they're nice and supple and strong year on year. Okay. So they won't be needing a joint replacement later on in life and, you know, having to be looked after when they're old and a little bit frail. So all of this is all preventable. So that's what I do. Wow. So you prevent things like hip replacement, which is one of the most popular? Really? Shoulder, yeah. If we need to, no one really looks after their joints. You take your car for an MOT, you get in there, but no one really pays attention. Is my joint range of motion reducing year on year? Am I getting a bit more stiff? Are the muscles tighter? We just let it happen. And the more restricted you are in your movement, the more sort of aggravation in all of the joint sockets. So if we take care of them now, then reduce the likelihood. So there's no absolutes in life, but you can significantly reduce. Agreed
100%. I must be honest, yesterday afternoon, my daughters came home and I decided I was going to finally sort out all those cables behind our television, and it was all a mess. I thought, I'll go sit behind move the stand out the way, get it all nice and tidy, sat there. My daughters came home from school and I thought, go get up. I went, hold on.
Yes.
And I walked funny the whole way to the door and I was like, what is going on here? All my knees and my hips, everything froze up. I was like, no, this is not good.
How many times do you get down to the floor?
That is a good question. So not too often.
There you go. That is an issue. Whereas when we're a child, we're always up, down, up, down. That's how you keep everything quite loose and supple, and you're strengthening by getting into those end range of motion. So my advice is everyone needs to act like a 5-year-old every day,
Well, there is something about it. It's like grounding yourself. It's like going out and outside barefoot is just as good as and getting that, being earthed, as well as doing all those exercises. And I'm only starting to get back into the swing of doing all of that kind of stuff now with my kids, because you forget about all the simple stuff that you were doing, and sitting in a chair all day it's a curse.
Yes, it is. As much as you can't really sort of do your work sort of moving around, but there are things you can do daily just for a couple of minutes just to make sure things all don't tighten up. And so that's what I'm all about.
Excellent. So how are you involved with the FSB?
I'm a member. I go to some of the events, online networking events. And actually tomorrow I'm speaking at FSB Westminster. So I'm on a panel, my first panel. So talking about confidence, and there's another guy, he's a business coach, sort of leadership coach, and another lady who's a hypnotherapist. So we're giving our thoughts on confidence in different scenarios, case studies.
Okay. It's an underestimated superpower. Absolutely. And it's also misunderstood, I think, quite a bit.
100%.
So that should be interesting and exciting. So it's mostly FSB members, I'm assuming?
No, I mean, the FSB networking events, they're open to members and non-members. So you go on the website and look for the online networking events, and you just turn up. So,
I've been an FSB member for many years. Never, only ever been to one event. So I'm hoping to learn lots more as well.
Yes.
Hey, Pete, good to see you.
Well, you have two leaders of their own FSB events in the room. So Tut tut for not telling Mac about, your events.
It's there's I'm in northwest London, so I've got there is an FSB lead who notifies me. He does a great job actually on notifying of all events, but he runs them at the exact same times as I run some of my classes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's that's the only challenge. If I can find events that are not at the same time, I'm already coaching and teaching.
I mean, you can attend any in the country. That's the beauty now with the online. It depends whether you want links with your local community or you just people wherever.
I work internationally, so it's all good. Excellent. Welcome, Grace, as well. Pete, where are you based?
I do FSB Lambeth and Southwark.
Okay, brilliant. Excellent
Hello,
stuff.
sorry for keeping my camera on. I just realised this was on. Thanks for the reminder, Bayo.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at my best. It's my day off, so
You look great in that picture, so it's all good.
I know. There you go. That's me. So I do FSB Hackney, and I'm also the diversity lead for London.
Wow, awesome stuff. They're fantastic. Great to hear. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bayo, up to you. When we get started, I'm not sure if you want to get going now. I know it's 8 minutes past already.
I was expecting at least 10 people to come. My apologies, Mac. And I've just had to pull out some stops reminding some people. So people fall in or not, as the case may be. Apologies for that. Really embarrassed.
Hey.
No, it's our fault. It's not Bayo. No, Bayo. It's not your fault at all,
No
mate.
stress at all. You know what? Sometimes things happen for a reason, and you'll see the power of the stuff that we're going to go through today. Whether it be only 2 people on a session or there are 100 people on the session, there's always something that comes out of it.
We're here. We're here.
Excellent stuff. The important people are here right now, Bayo.
The A team.
I agree.
Excellent. So, Bayo, did you want to say anything before we get started, and then
Yes.
I'll get going? Or
Yes, indeed. So Mac has been running a 12-week program, which I'm on. Mac is how do we meet Mac? So LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for years, and I know you all quite well. I know Pete very well. I know Grace very well, and I recently met Patricia. I know her well as well. And in my previous life as a housing board, I used LinkedIn a lot because we used it to exchange projects, policies, information, and job hunting. Then I set up my own business and I got into LinkedIn in a different way. And it dawned on me that I'm not really using LinkedIn as I should be. So I was posting, the FSB was up, everyone. But you know what? Let's cut to the chase. What business was coming out of LinkedIn? How was leads being generated to LinkedIn? And I was curious to know how that works, the finesse behind it. Because at the moment, or more before this year, I was dumping stuff onto LinkedIn a lot. And people knew who I am, but it wasn't really maximizing where I could go. And then, hey presto, I bump into a guy called Mac. And Mac, I never pronounce your surname, so I'm going to leave that to you. But I bumped into Mac, and Mac is a LinkedIn guru. And there's many of them out there, but the beauty of Mac is it's raw, it's simple, it's to the point, and it's not convoluted, and that's what you really need. And what this hour, I hope, will show you is some really nice, fine touches. We all probably do bits and pieces of it, but when Mac starts to tell you about what we do or what we don't do, wow, hey presto. Is that a good enough introduction, Mac?
Well, I wasn't expecting an introduction. I was just expecting more of a, hey, this is why I'm doing it. But that was awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go with that.
So let me introduce everybody else. Well, they'll introduce themselves, but we are FSB family at varying degrees. Some of us are events leads. Some of us are just members. We're all volunteers. We're all active FSB members, and we all run our businesses. So we're probably best for each individual to just give a brief of their businesses. I always forget it's the other side round when you're trying to say, I'm trying to do my collar, I'm doing this one. It's actually this one, isn't it? Right, okay. That's better.
That's why I put the mirror, there's a mirror effect on Zoom where you can change it, because I was doing exactly that. On most of my Zooms, there will always be one that's like this, and I'm sitting there going like this all the time. So
okay,
it's all good. Excellent. So who's next?
It's got to be ladies first.
I'll go then. So Patricia Goker, FSB member. for about a year now, but probably only in the last 6 months really getting more involved. I sort of attend the online networking meetings, some of them, not many, because it's all, networking is sometimes a bit overwhelming, but I'm an online movement coach, and I help people sort of reduce their aches and pains, help them get a bit more supple, more stronger, so they don't end up having to have a joint replacement later on in life, or having to have someone care for them. So the work starts now, basically. So I'm interested today because I hear about the power of LinkedIn, and I've been told before there is a lot you can do. And yes, I'm not doing half of it, but slowly, small steps. But yeah, just seeing what else I'm missing out on.
Excellent.
I guess I'll go next. So I've been involved with FSB for 5 years now. And then I've been doing the volunteering and leading for about coming up 4 years in January. My business is Keep It Simple Training Company. So I do online learning or online courses to do with professional development, leadership, mental health or mental wellness and safety at the moment. And people can join those courses at any time. They're auto-marked and it's all CPD certified. In terms of consultancy, I'm an anti-racism consultant, and next week I have a conference which I'm absolutely crapping it about. I know it'll be all right, but we're planning this like it's a 3-day operation, but it's actually 1 day. So yeah, so I do anti-racism in the workplace, and yeah, we're having a big one next week. And I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I've been on LinkedIn for about 11 years now. And LinkedIn's brilliant because I got a 4-year contract from there. And I always think I'm coming on here because I think, is there anything else I can do? But yeah, LinkedIn's brilliant and I use it as much as I can. But I think, because Bayo says you're an expert, I always think there's more to learn. So yeah. Looking forward to it.
Awesome stuff. Pete.
Well, just really quickly, as I said, FSB volunteer lead for Lambeth and Southwark. And in my day job, it's about copywriting and strategy. So I work with startups and SMEs to define and communicate literally why a customer should choose them over the competition. But I'll be totally honest with you, on behalf of other people, really happy to post so I post about FSB events, but you know what? I don't like putting my own head above the parapet to post about my business. It's stupid, I know, but I've just got this weird phobia. So I don't do it. But when I post about FSB, I can get engagement, views of the post of about 500 and maybe a dozen comments, which again, because of Bayo, I've now learned, well, you comment on the comments and stuff. So anyway, that's me. Thank you.
Pete's really, really powerful. And I'm going to come back to that because unfortunately, I was in the same boat for a very long time. Bayo, go for it. Do us a quick intro.
Okay. I run a coaching and mentoring practice, Bayo Igoh Coaching. It's probably 3.5 years old now. I've told you about my relationship with LinkedIn. One of my mottos or one of my names, Oracle, means to share. And I like to share information. I think what Mac's doing is great. And so when Mac was speaking to me, he sees our FSB stuff, but he asked me the question, how powerful is it? How's it actually, is it reaching its audience? And how are you capitalizing on that? So although Pete, Grace and I do that FSB sharing of stuff, I often wonder how more powerful it could be if we did it differently.
Absolutely.
That's my intro.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to set the scene for you a little bit about why LinkedIn for me, so that at least you have some understanding of the stuff that I'll go into and where the power really lies. So similar to Pete, I've been doing LinkedIn for a long time, but it was always easier to do it and help others do it. because it was like, I could talk about Bayo all day long. I can talk about Patricia and joints. I can talk about Grace and the whole racism thing that's going on, and my experience as well as the people that I've worked with. I could talk about Pete and having his struggles. But then it comes to myself, and it's like, oh, okay, well, and that's just many people struggle with that. And there's this interesting concept on LinkedIn called the 1990 concept. And if you grasp this concept, you'll realize how powerful just doing some very basics is on LinkedIn. So the 1990 concept basically talks about the fact that there are only currently, it's actually a lot more, but last year and the year before was only around about 1% of the total audience on LinkedIn that were actually posting. Now, whether they were posting great content or bad content is a whole different discussion. But only about 1% of people were actually putting content out. Now, that meant that if you were putting content out, you were 99% ahead of your competitors and everybody else, because you were that 1% that people were watching. Now, that also meant that, if you were putting out valuable content and you were putting out content that people were actually reading and engaging with, all of a sudden you moved into like the top 0.25% on a platform that was 664 million people pre-pandemic, and now is kind of reaching the 780 million kind of mark, so the growth has been ridiculous over the last 12, 18 months. More people in the last 12, 18 months have joined LinkedIn than at any other given period over the same time. And that's because of the force of the whole digital thing. So we all understand the fact that we couldn't, working from home, so we had to go digital. So that's, one of those things. But it's also forced a massive change on LinkedIn. So you may have noticed that LinkedIn used to be very well known for, if you need a job, you're on LinkedIn. If you recruiting, you go on LinkedIn. But that was pretty much it. So if somebody's changing career, guess what? They're communicating, posting, engaging. They're all over LinkedIn. Find a job, disappear for a while, and then when they're back again, so you could almost tell that why somebody was on LinkedIn. It was like, okay, is there a career change coming along? And most people in the background, if they were employed, would always go, the common question would, how do I go into stealth mode, because I don't want my employer to know that I'm on LinkedIn and I'm trying to search, as well as even if you're running your own business. I don't want my existing customers to know that I'm shutting down and I'm changing to do something else. And so a lot of those questions were asked. But the reality is, the people that really got a lot out of LinkedIn and still do are those people who consistently show up. So it's that it's less than 0.5% of people that consistently post 3 to 5 times a week, as opposed to, I'm on LinkedIn, I kind of show up every now and then. I've been on since 2007, but I got more results in the last 18 months than all the years combined previously. So the next part of the 1990, which is the really interesting part that I missed out on. Now, just quickly and throw it into the chat, your answers. But how many times have you met somebody in person? Wow, what an expert! They can hold the room. They really know what they're talking about. People should be listening to this person and taking their advice, because they're absolutely a genius in their own right within their industry. And then you see them post on LinkedIn and it says, be the first to comment, or there's 2 likes, and you're like, how does this happen? I know this person, the value that they bring is immense. Even the post that they put out is great, but there's no engagement. What's the crack here? What's going on? And for me, being in the speakers network and personal development for over 20 years, when the pandemic hit, I noticed that big shift of people that were, they could speak to 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people in a room. They could be in a boardroom and have people in the palm of their hand, but they were going on LinkedIn and posting this amazing stuff. And then they were it was like a tumbleweed rolling by, and it was I was like, this is not right. They've just totally lost their voice online. And some of the most powerful speakers that I know were just getting absolutely no traction. And it's because of the next part that is so important, which is the 9%. And the 9% are those people that you need in your corner. They are the people that are the ones that are liking, commenting, sharing, and engaging with posts. Now, they may not even be posting, but they're doing at least that. Now, if you look at your own connections and you say have 100 connections, out of your 100 connections, on average, you'll have 8 to 9% of people that are the ones who they have an opinion, they're out there, they're commenting, and you see the same people show up in your feed all the time. Has anybody noticed that? Yeah. So you keep having the same people, even if it's stuff that you don't really like you're like, I don't even know why I'm seeing this guy's posts all the time. It'll come up in your feed. And there are ways to clean that up, by the way. So I can go into that detail so that you see less of the stuff you don't want to see and more of the stuff you want to. And then it's those 9% that decide whether the other 90% of people on LinkedIn, who are the people that go in stealth mode, the browsers, the voyeurs of the platform. And I find that with my clients, when they get new business from LinkedIn, more often than not, they'll get a phone call out of the blue or a message out of the blue that says, hey, Bayo, I've been watching what you've been doing online, really interested in what you've been talking about. I'd love to have a chat. And it's like, but who is this person? You speak to them and then they want to do business. And you're like, that's weird. They've never engaged, never liked any of my posts. They've come out of the blue. I don't even know who they are. And it's like, it's nice that it happens, but it's people don't put the connection that their 9% that are engaging are the ones who allowed that person to see your posts. So if I go and I like one of Bayo's posts and you're connected to Bayo and you've been engaging with Bayo in the last 6 months with more than 3 or 4 touch points. So we're talking about you've sent him a DM on there, you've liked one of his posts, you've commented on one of his posts, you've had some form of engagement, you are going to see in your notifications, oh, so-and-so posted, or you're going to see in your feed. So let me see if I can show you just a few examples. So I'm going to go onto website over here. So if I, in fact, I'm going to open another tab. So if I go through my feed, so this is what somebody that I engage with, and in fact, I speak on a stage with him. He's on my 12-week course, but we do a lot of connection. So he's a first contact. We often speak, but if I keep going through my feed, you see over here where it says Suzanne, Karen, and 2 other connections commented on this. So if you go and comment on other people that you're trying to connect, so FSB for me, if you're a lead, the people that you are bringing on board and that you're connecting with, those are the people that you want to make sure know that firstly, you're supporting them. And secondly, those are the people who are going to be shouting the loudest about what it is that you do. So you want to make sure that in their feed, you won't show up if you're not engaging with them. So you want to be able to be that FSB guy or lady who just turns up everywhere. And it's such simple marketing by engaging. So just because they've engaged and they've engaged with me, I'm now getting notifications. Hey, so-and-so commented on that. Pratik, who's based in, he's the Israel's tech ambassador to India. Phenomenal guy, always gets a lot of engagement. But because I engage with his posts, I'm now seeing him come up in my feed when he comments. I've recently commented on his. This is my brand guy, extremely powerful. He's great at what he does. But again, little things like this. One other connection reacted to this post. So you actually have to be selfish on LinkedIn. You have to go and play part of that 9%, because that's what LinkedIn look at as the person who is adding value. Because if LinkedIn don't know that you are engaging and doing stuff, they don't know what you like, they don't know what to show the other 90%. Because how if Patricia, as an example, if you never like a comment or do anything other than just going like this, scrolling, the only way they can tell is the heat map of, if you stop on a post, then there's something called dwell time. Anything more than 3 seconds is what equates to a view. So if I stop on there, Craig will now get 1 view for his post. But will he know that I engaged with his post? He won't have a clue. So how does he know? So how many people have seen on the bottom of their posts where it says views? Yeah. So
Yes.
you see that. And have you ever asked yourself, well, why can't I see who's viewed my profile?
They used to do that. I'm sure they used
So
to.
you can see
Yeah.
you can see who's viewed your profile. You can't see who's viewed your posts. So, and that's something slightly different. I'll show you that in a minute. But that also depends on your personal settings. You can actually put your personal settings on that nobody can view who's viewed your profile, as an example, because a lot of people are concerned that their competitors will go and have a look at who's viewed their profile, then contact those people, and then not have the opportunity to work with them. The world, there's an abundance on LinkedIn. You don't have to really worry about that. If that's the links that your competitors are going to, they are struggling. They are not putting out great content. They don't have their tribe, and they're going for low-hanging fruit, which ultimately they don't get repeat business. So, with Craig, as an example, I know Craig quite well. He actually works in one of the services offices that I often go to. He posts on a regular basis. He gets zero engagement. It's normally one or two people that will hit the like button, and he's got one person on there. And Craig is actually a genius in CRMs. He's absolutely lethal when it comes to helping people set up email campaigns and getting things flowing in the background. But here's a genius who's posting on LinkedIn and is not getting that attention that he needs. Why? Because he does what I did many years ago, and I did the 1%. I was part of the 1% of people that posted that did the spray and pray approach. Has anybody heard of that? Okay, the spray and pray approach is where you fling as much stuff at the wall as you can and hope something sticks. Okay, so what I was doing is I was clever, because I was saving a lot of time. So what I was doing is I was using marketing platforms that could schedule my posts, like Hootsuite and various others. And I know quite a few people on FSB leaders who do the same thing. They put a lot of stuff out, but you don't see engagement. And that's where the big loss comes in, the disconnect. Because if those 9% don't engage with you, those people that are active in your own network, if they don't engage with your post, the other 90% are not going to see it. And for me, it's such a powerful, it's such a basic, but such a powerful concept of, okay, how do I get my 9% to that's it. If I can get my 9% active, then I can get the other 90% to see my post. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and I like doing things quite practically and using examples. Who's brave enough? Who hasn't posted today? Okay, Patricia, your hand up went up first, so I'm going to be I'm going to put you on the spot. So I'm going to go through my cheat sheet in a minute, where I'm going to give you all the tools that you need for the basic stuff to ramp up. I guarantee you'll get 10 times the results that you're currently getting just by applying my cheat sheet. But are you okay to do a quick post now, Patricia?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to share your screen? Okay, and we're going to do a little challenge that one of my, well, you saw in my earlier, Daniel has set up. And we're going to do a one-line post quickly. So if you go to your home screen.
It's on LinkedIn or just?
On LinkedIn.
Yeah, can you see
the little house. You see the little, oh, there we go. We're there. We're all good. Okay, so if you go start post.
Oh, you want me to do one immediately?
No pressure. So I want to
mess about.
I want to talk you through this process, because there's a lot of stuff that people don't know when it comes to starting a post. So most people just know, they go into a post and they're like, oh, what do I post about today? What's the value? What's the content that I can talk about? And it's always that block that people have before they even get to the post. So they end up thinking about it too much and over analyze and end up not posting. So I want to talk you through this little screen just so that it isn't an obstacle for you. So firstly, if you look at where it says everyone, if you do the drop down there, you'll have a few options. So one, if you have your Twitter account connected to LinkedIn,
Wow.
when you click anyone and Twitter, it will just automatically send a tweet out as well and go, hey, this is what, and when they click on the tweet, it comes back to your LinkedIn. So now you're fishing in two pools, and it just sends a summary of that post, and they can't read the full thing. So your headline has to be a killer. You have to make sure the first 3 lines in your post are like, those are the ones that are going to attract attention, because Twitter, we know it was 140 characters. I think it's 260 now, but it's still, I believe 140 characters is such a powerful thing, because if you in the first 140 characters can get a hook and so make a statement of, what's going on in there, so that people go, I'm interested in this, I want to read it, then that's going to get people to come to your profile. So, what you want is, it's like everybody, you pay a web developer, and it's, what is the main reason we have a website? Any idea? Anybody?
It just sits there.
No, but
It's like a shop. I use mine as a shop window.
Yeah.
Okay, but what is the purpose? Shop window, and then what?
Oh, for people to look at the products, to interact, to communicate with me,
and then to do what?
And then to buy. Then to buy services. Yeah.
It's to generate leads. So the challenge is, if you don't have eyes on what you're doing, what's the point? So quick question, how many people have posted anything recently with something about their website, or a service, or a blog on their website, other than just doing the normal stuff on the website itself, where you're hoping Google and everybody else are doing their job and the SEO is good enough?
I have, but not on LinkedIn, and that's where I really need to be going, really.
Okay,
but yeah, I've been doing it other places, but not there. Yeah,
good. So what I would suggest is, when you post, don't post links to your website, but make sure that your website or your contact forms, or the way you want people to engage with you, is in your contact info. And we're going to come back to that in a second. But in this section, so firstly, you've got anyone on Twitter, then you've got connections only. Say, for argument's sake, you want to do a post that's purely for your own connections. You want to ask them a very specific question, and you're not comfortable with the whole world seeing it, but you just want to kind of get a bit of feedback from your audience. So you might want to do a poll that says, okay, I'm going to go to connections only, and I'm going to ask my audience, hey, how many of you are seeing this? So you can then go and hit that, and all of a sudden you can actually get only your audience and your connections to then interact with that post. So there are ways to do that, very underutilized, because most people go, well, why would I only want my audience? I want the whole world to see my posts. It's like, sometimes you want to connect with your first connections. You want to make sure that your first connections are feeling loved and looked after. A lot of people forget about their original connections. The next one is the group members. So if you click on group members, just on the little arrow there next to it on the left, what happens is, every group that you belong to, you can create a post directly from here into that group. Now, again, it's a great feature. The only challenge, so you can go FSB Southeast London as an example, and you can do a post from here directly into that group. So it's a great place, to have a singular place where you're sending stuff out. The biggest challenge is, what happens is, people do the spray and pray approach through this, is they go and they'll create a post, and you just copy and paste, and you can just boom, 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 send it out to every single one of these groups. The challenge then is, firstly, is that post targeted for the community within that group? Is the message going to go out that it just looks like a cut and paste, or are you going to tailor it to make sure that that audience, when the admin of that group reads it, goes, oh, well, this adds value to our group? And then the main thing that is the kind of Achilles heel of everything on LinkedIn is engagement. Because if you don't go and engage with other people within those groups, why should they engage with you? And for me, initially I thought, well, I don't want to engage with other people because, like, I'm not interested in that guy, I'm not interested in this guy. It's actually a selfish thing. And I'm going to show you that in a minute why. So what we're going to do is, you're going to go back, click on the back button.
Sorry.
Or close it. Okay, actually, wait, stay just there. Go back 1 second, close that down. I want to show you. So LinkedIn is not straightforward when it comes to how it works, because there's several little things that if you don't know what they are and how they work, it can be a little bit confusing. So if you click photo as an example, you can upload a photo. There's a little new feature. So if you go select images, although I don't want to put you on the spot and select an image that you don't want to share right now, you can upload an image, and then there's an option to now edit images on LinkedIn where you can do a little filter, and you can crop it and make it look like whatever you want to.
That's coming. I haven't quite prepared the post.
No,
My
that's
free
fine.
download.
So if you go, you can click back if you want to go back and just close that. Okay, so we're going to do, so when it comes to posts, and all of the stuff that I'm talking about is in my cheat sheet that you'll get a copy of today. Please don't go and share it with anybody else in FSB. Let them come and show up so they understand the concept behind the cheat sheet, because people will go and read it, they'll go and apply it, and yes, they'll get results, but they won't understand why they're getting results. And when you understand these core principles, it's what defines everything on LinkedIn. So there are three pillars that I was that we will cover over the next what do we have, 20 minutes or so. How much time does everybody have, by the way?
It was down for 11, but as we start, I think 11:15 will be good. I'll definitely need to leave by 11:15. What about the rest of you guys?
So I can have all the time in the world.
Yeah, fine.
I've got FSB Bexley at 11.
Okay, so I'll go to 11:15, and then we'll connect afterwards anyway, and be in touch. And this is being recorded, so I'm happy to put this as an unlisted, uploaded onto YouTube as an unlisted video that you can go and share, Bayo, and then people can go and watch this, and it will be exclusively available to whoever you share it with within the FSB.
That'd be great, because as I say, I've got to leave at 11, so okay. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Perfect.
Cheers, mate.
So no problems at all. So for me, it's all about sharing value, because if you can take this away, I can guarantee every single one of you will walk away with a client within the next 3 to 6 weeks if you go and apply this. So the three pillars that you want to have right is one is your profile, the next one is your content, and the next one is your outreach. Those are the three basics. Now, the reality is most people go onto LinkedIn and they'll start posting, which is what we're talking about now, which is great. And then people land on your profile and they go, what is it that he actually does or she does? I'm a bit confused here, or they haven't got like anything updated, or it's missing their company section, or well, they've got no recommendations, all those things which I'll speak about in a few minutes. But then the profile will let the content down, if that makes sense. Francis West is joining. Was he part of your FSB invites?
No, I don't think he's one of yours, isn't he?
He is. Hey, Francis, welcome. I didn't realize you were jumping on the FSB session.
Yeah, no, not at all. Sorry, I pressed the wrong link. I'm just busy supporting everybody in the chat, and I jumped on, and I'm on a Eastern Cyber Resilience Center meeting, and I disconnected from here and came here. So,
okay.
I wish you a good meeting. Sorry to interrupt.
No problems, everybody. Francis is the FSB representation for cybersecurity, so he's your cyber guy for FSB.
Right.
Yeah,
Hi, Francis.
Hi.
So,
good luck.
Cheers, Francis. Have a great one.
Right, so you're getting on about Patricia putting on a post.
Yeah, so if you look at the post side of things, what happens is you've got a few options underneath there. You've got photo. So if you upload a photo, you can actually now edit it. You've got a video. When it comes to video posts, you can do one of two things. You can use YouTube links, which works on occasion, but LinkedIn prefer on platform content. They don't want stuff that's going to take them away. So when it comes to video content, really key things like short little videos, anywhere between 30, 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes max. Because what people don't want to do is they don't want to see a long post and then a video that's going to take another 2 to 3 to 5 minutes to watch. people are, if you look at the whole TikTok world that's come around, and even YouTube with the YouTube shorts now, people are time starved. So you want to make sure that you can be short, punchy, and get people's attention. Just focus on one bullet point, maybe 3, but no more than that. Because the moment you go past that, people go, wow, yeah, you're okay, you know a lot of this, you're laboring it on a little bit. I haven't got time. Maybe I'll come back to it later. And reality is people don't. So you want to make sure that the dwell time covers the length of the post, because otherwise the reach isn't going to be there, because LinkedIn will look at it like they do videos or your website or anything like that, where your bounce rate is quite high. Where it's like, people keep coming there, headlines, great, get halfway through, don't have time, move on. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that people have scrolled down to the bottom of that post. You want to make sure that people have an opportunity to kind of go, I get this, let me respond, let me engage. If you can't get to that stage, you've posted too much info. And I used to be sitting there going, oh, no, I'm going to do a 40-minute video, lots of info, really give people value. And the reality is, if people spent the time, they would get results from it. But people don't care, because they look at it and they go, wow, this is amazing, I'll get back to it. And it's like buying, how many people have bought amazing books that have been recommended to them, sitting on the bookshelf, you haven't read them? Yeah. This is what happens. Yeah. Imagine your posts or their posts being that amazing book that you haven't read. That's what it is. It's just like you're just seeing covers. That's what your stream is about, just seeing book covers. So you want people to really just get stuck in. So, and this is where the opportunity is. This is your storefront, as Grace was talking about earlier, on your website, where really if somebody goes, okay, you've put a post there, actually, hey, you know what, this resonates with me, I have this problem, I need to take action. That's all you want. So you don't want to go after what we call vanity metrics, because a lot of people, I used to get attached to it. It's like, oh, I got 1,000 views. Oh, I got 10,000 views. I did a post about Boris, got 105,000 views. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Then I was like so disappointed when I did another post that only got 5,000 views. And I was like, what am I doing here? I got no results from Boris's posts. I got a lot of people viewing it, but there's no return on investment. There's no, people aren't buying from me. They're not doing business with me. It had nothing to do with anything of my business. So it's making sure that you focus on bringing value. And even if it only has a few hundred views, is that it's the target audience that's engaging with that, rather than, I got the whole world to look at it, but actually it didn't serve you. So really important. So video, short, sweet, punchy. With video, one of the things that I really have to emphasize is over 67% of video that is watched is done in silent. So how many people watch a video and don't turn the sound on and just watch the words as it gets notated at the bottom? Now, and there's different reasons for that. There's one, I'm sitting on a train, I'm watching it in silent, don't have my headphones. I'm sitting in the office, I shouldn't be on my phone, but I'm watching this. Or I'm sitting on the throne and I don't want my family to know that I'm on my phone, and I want some peace and quiet. So, you have those. And Grace, I see your comment there about I like to hear a person's voice. There are circumstances where, unfortunately, you may follow somebody and you know their voice, but you still want to see what they're saying in that 30 or 60-second video. So what I would suggest is if you're on iOS as an example, there are loads of different apps out there, but I use an app that I think it's like £5. It's something called Clip-O-Matic. And Clip-O-Matic is, I'm a babbler, so I can talk for as long as you let me. And that's a major problem, because I can bore the socks off you after a while. But Clip-O-Matic will give you a 60-second restriction. So whatever you got to say it in 60 seconds. Plus, it will do the conversion to text as you speak, and then you can go with my accent. It changes LinkedIn to Lincoln for some reason all the time. So you can literally just tap on the text, and you can then go and edit the word to make sure that it's all correct. And it's such a simple app that there aren't too many features. It's just like, it is what it is. But it's not on Android, but connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll send you a few options for Android as well. But it's just an example of how to keep it short, simple, and sweet. So video posts, I would recommend, if you can, do 1 or 2 video posts a week. because, as Grace mentioned, people want to hear your voice, they want to see your face, they want to relate to you. If they're going to become part of your tribe, people buy from people. So don't worry about having too polished content. Most people want, on perfection. I want that marketing company to spend fortunes on making things look all like nice and shiny, and nobody has a clue who the shiny, what's behind the shininess. Who's the person that does this? So people follow, as an example, Richard Branson, not Virgin. Virgin has about 1 million followers. Richard Branson's going on 14 million. So shows you the difference there. The next thing is LinkedIn events. So if you see the LinkedIn events on there, when you go and create that, make sure that you create your events 2, 3, 4 weeks out. Because if you create an event, what happens is you get the option to upload all your banners and everything, your different name, you can put the details in, and then you can say this is an online event. So you can either just put a Zoom link in there, but in your description, you want to make sure that you tell people that if you have to register, say it's an Eventbrite link, you have to spit it out in the description. Hey, just because you hit attend doesn't mean you're registered. Please go and register. But the event side of things, I'll show you. Anybody open to a little hack where they can find clients? No, not interested.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
I'll show you that in a second as well, on the events. And then the last one is writing an article. Now, you can write an article to your personal profile, and as of a few months ago, about a month or two ago, you can now post articles to your company page. Now, company page is at this stage something that's important to have for credibility, but it's not essential, because most people will look at your personal profile. But when you go and upload an article, I would suggest having 1 to 2 articles a month that you post. And the reason for that is it adds credibility as an authority within your space, if that makes sense. So really important to go and have that, because those will come up on your profile as items that are just always there, that when people go and search on Google, etc., it's going to come up. And if you look at the fact that Google and Microsoft are two of the world's biggest companies, they've partnered up when it comes to search criteria. So when it comes to your articles, your posts, your profile, all the content that you put in there is searched and crawled by Google and Microsoft, so that when somebody goes and searches for somebody that can help me with my joint pain, they're going to go, as an example, Patricia, on Google, if they go, how to make my joints more supple. Now, guess what? If you're talking in a post about how to make your joints supple, and on your profile, it says that you help make people's joints supple, and on your website, it says so there's consistency where it says, well, clearly she's the expert, because not only does it say so on her website, it says so on her profile, she talks about it all the time. There's a higher chance that if we say, hey, Patricia is the result you're looking for, that people will continue to use Google because they want to have the best results first. Now, if Google serves up a result of somebody who talks about joint pain, and it comes up and they start talking about a different kind of joint that might go up in smoke, then it's not, they're going to sit there and go, okay, well, this is rubbish, this is not what I'm looking for, and they're not going to use Google, they'll go to another platform. So Google wants to make sure that the results it serves up are trustworthy, high credibility, and most on point for their audience. So in order to do that, is you just have to make sure that your profile, your content, and your website and everything aligns so that your search terms and SEO across the board says, hey, this is who the person is that you need to go to. So if you've got, niching down really, really helps. So if you go back, as an example, go back to the home button, and we want to go and have a look at something else. If you go start a post again, and you go, so at the bottom, you've got a few options. You've got obviously the photo, you've got video, you've got documents. Now, this is one of the most popular ones. If you go and create a 5-page, 10-page PDF document with an image on each one and just a headline, it comes across as a carousel or a slider on LinkedIn. And you can literally just go and do like a Word document. You do like a big banner on the top going question, image, and then on the next one you can have a statement. So basically people have to kind of scroll on and click next to be able to get to the end and find the answer. So you can ask a question on the first one, have the answer on the last one, and then as a final close off page, hey, want to know more, connect with me, contact me, call me. You can put your number on there, your website on there, save it as a PDF, and then when you post, it'll come through as that carousel. And you'll be shocked because the most popular posts, the ones that get the eyes currently on LinkedIn, because the algorithm changes, PDFs, so those carousel type documents, which it turns it into a carousel for you, text-based posts, so actually with no attachments, just text with a good headline, polls, but please, if you're going to do polls, make them serve your community, make them good questions. Don't ask random questions like, I feel like an ice cream, what flavor do you think I should have? Really serve your community. So ask a question like, Patricia, joint pain, which joint is your worst? Is it your knee? Is it your hip? Is it so that people go and they look, wow, look at how many people say they have hip pain. Look at how many people say they have knee joint problems. So on that, what I want you to do quickly is, so if you see the third one, the fourth, fifth, the little bar graph, that's a poll. So we're going to click on that, and you're going to put in a question at the top. So Patricia, what is the most common question you get asked about what you do?
Unfortunately, it's not really related to what I focus on. They're talking about how can I get rid of my bingo wings and this sort of thing, and more people care about aesthetics rather than sort of what's going on in their foundations.
Okay, so that's actually a really good point there, because when it comes to LinkedIn, here's the big challenge. A lot of us want to talk about what we want to talk about, and our audience wants to talk about something different. So we post about joint pain, and people go, bingo wings, nope, not that, move on. And it's like, hold on. And the answer is just that simple. It's like, find out what your audience want to talk about, talk more about that, you'll have more engagement. Because guess what? When they come and see you for the bingo wings, you can get them to talk about the joint pain, because then you can talk about the holistic view. But what most of us try and do, like I did with my security company, was try and tell people about the problem they didn't know they had. And they weren't interested because they didn't know they had the problem. So I had to educate and convert. But if I spoke about the problem that they were all talking about, when they came to talk to me, and I went, oh, okay, as an example, hey, bingo wings, yes, you can get rid of that. And one of the benefits of that, we're doing all these different movements and calisthenics or whatever it may be. Guess what? You're also going to improve the suppleness in your joints. And they're like, yeah, I've got these, I didn't even think about that. And it's like, straight away, you've got a client because they know you're not talking about just a bingo. You're talking about everything. You know your stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And that applies to all of us in our businesses. So, all of us want to post about the things that we feel our customers need, but we forget to ask our customers what they need. So let's do a quick post for you, Patricia, where you're going to go, hey, my customers talk a lot about, you're going to put a statement in there and just say, my clients ask questions about so many different things, but which ones of these would you like to hear more of?
I'll start with hey.
Yeah, you could just put it in your own language. It's got to be in your own language.
Well, people know that's not true, do they? Well, no, it doesn't really matter. Don't overthink things.
Don't overthink. In fact, take the whole client thing out and just go, hey, people tend to ask, don't even talk about your clients. Just say, people, these are the, or you can even say, these are the most common problems people tend to face. Which one would you like to hear more solutions about? Does that make sense?
Yes, now you put me on the spot. That's
fine. So Pete, I know you're going to bounce in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is once Patricia has posted this, she is going to share this, and each one of us are going to go and just hit like, do a vote, and do a comment on it within the next kind of 5 minutes. Because what's going to happen is that's going to generate interest, and it's going to show LinkedIn, hold on, people have just engaged with that post. So as an example, if you're talking to your FSB community and you go and share a post, does everybody know how to share a post with their community?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Is that
No, people need to know that.
They do need to know that. So while you do that, so put the 3 top kind of problems, put bingo wings, that 100% has to be in there. Joint pain, 100% has to be in there, and then one other. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
And then add another option. Anything else? Hip pain, joint pain is any one of those. What else do people see you for?
It's more about joint pain. I don't know. Strong with age. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or get stronger.
Okay. Add option, and then other comments below. Okay, and then hit the done button. There you go. Okay, so now you're just going to do a 1-line post over there. You're going to go, what's bugging you? And that's it. Just what's bugging you. Nothing else. Or troubling you. There you go. And then go to 2 lines down. And you're going to put in some hashtags. So you're going to put hashtag health. And then hashtag joints. Yeah, go back to the other one that said joint pain. There you go. And then hashtag, what other word comes to mind for you?
Strength training.
Okay, so put strength in.
Mac, I'm going to have to leave, but I'd love to connect. Come and. I want to connect, and I'd love to see the rest of it. And Bayo, etc. Thanks for having me on here. Really amazing.
We haven't even scratched the surface yet, but yes, go for it.
I'll send you some of the stuff from Mac.
Brilliant. So I'm off to an FSB meeting. So
go and tell them all about this.
I will. Thanks, Mac.
Only a pleasure. Cheers, Pete. Lovely to meet you. Bye-bye. Okay, so wrapping up, we've got 15 minutes, Bayo?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Sorry, interrupting your snacks there. So what's troubling you? Health, joint pain. Okay, so I'm just looking at your profile, Patricia, and I love your photograph. Your headline's nice and simple. If I go and have a look at, have you got your own hashtag?
As in what, my name? What?
Okay. So the answer is no.
No.
So when it comes to having your own hashtag, it's something that you can create your own personal feed. So if you say to a client, hey, just search this hashtag, you'll find me. So as an example, I use various ones. I use the LinkedIn expert. I use M for motivate. And if people go and search that in the search bar, all they're going to find is only posts by me on my subjects, which means I can go to a client and not have my competitors come up in the feed. So it's a great way of taking that focus and showing all the value that you bring to LinkedIn on a regular basis. But also, you want your tribe to start following you so that when they see, if they follow your hashtag, they can then follow you and go, hey, I want to see more Patricia stuff. Let me click follow on that hashtag. And then every time you post, they're going to get a notification as well. So it's a nice way of doing that. So you can literally just put your name as a hashtag, as an example. So if you then put another hashtag below that, so go below that, 1 line down and go, hey, follow hashtag Patricia, is it Goka or Goka?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So put that in all one word. That's it. And then go for more posts on about health, as an example. You can change that at a later stage. Okay. And that's it. So now what you're going to do is Is your profile connected to Twitter?
No.
Okay, so don't worry about that now. Now you're going to hit the post button. Okay, and this is such a simple little thing that you've just done. Now what you want to do is, this is the part that when it comes to sharing posts. So Pete didn't know this, but we're going to talk through it anyway. So it's in the video and people can go and watch this. The top right, three dots on the top right-hand side of your post. Now, there are a few things you can go and do here. You can go and feature it in the top of your profile so that when people visit your profile, they'll see it and they can go and take part. So for the next 7 days, you can, because it's a 7-day post, you've chosen 7 days, click feature so that when people go into your post, they'll keep engaging with that post even after today. Most people only look at today's posts. So the next thing you want to do is you want to go copy link to post. And you would then take that link and you would go and share it with people that you know would go and engage with your post. So your WhatsApp connections that are in your health network, your FSB network, your BNI network, your whatever network you're in, your friends, your family network, and go, hey guys, I've just posted this. I'd love your support on this and your thoughts, and then drop it in there and then get people to engage. So what you're going to do now is you're going to drop it into the chat for us. On the chat on here, you're going to go and drop, you're going to click you've already copied it. So now just go into chat. There we go. So I am going to now click on that and it's going to come up on my side. Here we go. There we go. So I've voted. And then on the like section, what you want to do is if you're supporting people's posts, don't just hit the like button because everybody else does that. Hover your mouse over it. It'll give you a few different options. I'm going to hit the love button because this is a real important one for me. And I'm going to go. There we go. So I've commented on your post. So if you hit refresh on your post, so if you, there we go. Bingo, bad wings. That's a biggie for me. Brilliant, Grace. So if you go down, scroll down a little bit to, okay, so you've got mine. So here's the key bits. Most people copy, so most people spray and pray. So they'll post. Well, that's great. But the key thing here, the most important bit is start engaging with those who engage with you. Okay? Because if you go and post and you don't, I've now shown up, Grace has shown up, we've taken our own time to invest in your post. And guess what, Grace? You've just advertised on Patricia's profile. Because guess what? Your face has come up. It says Grace A. Graham, BA Honors, MSc, FRSA. I mean, you're really showing off over here. Then it's like anti-racism consultant, apprenticeships and business development. Almost said bus driver, but business development. So I would, where it says business development, did you shorten that just because of character restrictions or?
I think I did. Yeah.
Okay, just have a look at that because the whole biz thing, I know a lot of the time things are logical to us, but not for everybody else.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can change that.
So just, those characters, that little line, that 42 characters to 48 characters, depending on which device you're on, underneath your name is the part that people are going to go, I want to connect with them. That's my advertising. Then the statement that you add is the value add to that person's content. If you just go nice comment, nice post, waste of time. You want to make sure that you really add value. I mean, the fact that you put over there, bingo or bat wings is a biggie for me. I love that because it's like people can go, they can relate to it. There's a bit of sense of humor in it. And it's, you know, the over 50s, you know, everybody, when we get to this kind of age group, it's like, you know, you start noticing things that are like shifting that shouldn't be shifting. And, you know, it's relatable, so people can engage with that. But now this post looks neglected because of the fact that what has Patricia not done? Okay.
I've updated it. It's actually fit in saying business development now. If you refresh, Patricia, you'll be able to see it.
Okay, brilliant. So go back to that, go back to the bottom of that post. There we go. So you're already on 13 views. It's only been like 2 or 3 minutes. So now hit the reply button. And the key thing is within the first half an hour of your post, if you have engaged with other people prior to your post, and then you post, and then you engage within that first half an hour with everybody who posts, that's what's going to give the algorithm the opportunity to go, you know what, other people are interested in this, let's show it to other people like them. And this is the key. So the next thing, you want to hit a reply and say something there, even if it's as simple as, hey, yo, thank you, Grace. I get that, or a lot of my clients say that, or just something simple. But if you can, try and ask another question. Like, you know, I really get that. So what are you doing about it? Or how do you deal with this? Because you're starting conversation. And the moment it goes 2 or 3 levels deep, LinkedIn look at it and go, micro activity, real discussion. Let's show other people this post. Okay, next one. I mean, I've thrown myself under the bus with my comment.
That talk.
And you can go, hey, Mac, I get that. How, you know, if I may ask, how old are you? Or are you, you know, are you over 40? Because I can help you remedy this, as an example. You don't, but the thing is, the key thing is, don't try and go in for the kills straight away, like, and start selling to them immediately. Just start talking to them so that you get a bit more info, because every little bit of info that person gives you on the post is going to give you additional rapport. Have you noticed that when you speak to somebody more than 3 times, all of a sudden you feel like you know them? It's like there's a relationship. And on LinkedIn, once you've had like 4 or 5 touch points, all of a sudden people feel, oh yeah, I know this person, and they kind of get me because you're talking. But if you go into sales pitch and the first five bits of communication, you're going to lose them. So really important to just start a conversation, be natural, have a bit of fun. And then the moment they start asking real good questions, you say, oh, man, that's a real great question. I'll tell you what, I'll DM you, connect with me, and I'll answer that question. Now somebody else reads the post and goes, damn, that's a great question. I want to know the answer. And then they'll go, me too. And guess what you do? You then message them and say, hey, no problems, I'll connect. And when you are having a conversation, Patricia, do you think if you've got somebody on the phone or on a Zoom that you could close them and do business with them?
Yes.
Okay, that's the biggest challenge, is getting them to that stage. And this is where we're going to kind of finish and wrap up on. But if you can get people from everything we've spoken about, you know, getting your profile right, getting your engagement, getting your post right. Now going and doing exactly what you're doing here, you may not feel like posting today, but you can go and do this exact thing on somebody else who's got a post that's gone viral, and somebody in the health and wellness industry. You know, they might be an international speaker, but you're based in the UK, and somebody in the UK reads this post by this guy in the US or this woman in the US who makes a real great point. You go and add some value, and they go, well, actually, Patricia is more accessible because she's in the UK. She knows what she's talking about. And this person is a super influencer. I might not be able to actually even get their attention because thousands of people have commented, but let me reach out to Patricia. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you could really, just by engaging, you could be building a business, and everything is try and go 4 or 5 touch points, you know, connect with them, engage with them, like their comments, like their posts, visit their profile, you know, connect, ask about them, wait for 5 touch points. And then after 5 touch points, if it hasn't naturally come up to, you know, something that you could talk about, you know, then you can prompt, say, hey, I'd love to have a conversation. Let's connect. Only after 5, because you'll find more often than not within those 5 touch points, they'll mention something and you go, you know what, I'd love to discuss that with you. I've got the story to tell you about one of my clients who went through that. At the moment, you've got a call booked, a phone call, a Zoom, you're on DMs, you're 99% of the way to getting new clients.
So it's really about building relationships, really, isn't it?
It's all about building relationships.
Yeah.
I do a program on a Monday night on Clubhouse, which is free, and I've got all other LinkedIn experts who come and join me, and it's called the LinkedIn Way of Selling. And we don't talk about selling. We talk about building relationships. You know, if you're selling, people are running. You know, the connected pitch repels. You want to build relationships. You know, and just doing what you're doing now, you're in the top 10% of active users on LinkedIn that are not only posting, but also getting engagements because you're adding value. And everybody you can engage with, you're putting your photo, your headline, and your name all directly on their post. You're advertising every time you engage.
It's good because I put 2 posts up in September, which are, I think they're still getting, people are still responding to them. And one was about my son passing his GCSEs, and the other one was about me becoming a fellow of the Royal Society of the Arts. And that had the biggest engagement ever, you know. And then I think, when was it, a big May or something like that, I put a post on about anti-racism and some of the work that I was doing with another organisation, and Virgin got in touch.
Brilliant.
And I did a presentation to them.
Shows you how powerful LinkedIn is.
It's really, really good. Really good. So, but this has been a great reminder for me. Thank you so much,
Grace. You've actually just hit a really great point. So if I go, I just want to finish with this then. Patricia, go and refresh your screen. And by the way, everybody who's been on here today, once you've connected with me, I'll send you a link where you can download my cheat sheet, which has got everything to do with profile, content, as well as outreach strategy. So you're already on 50 views. We've only been on there for a few minutes. Bayo, did you comment on this post? There we go. Okay. So you want to go and you want to make sure that you respond to that one with one of those, and then you want to make sure that you respond to the comments. Love the people that show you the love. If you don't, you're not going to get that engagement.
And it's quite easy to respond now, isn't it? Because we've got it's on our phones.
It's on your phone. It's on your PC. You can set up your notifications. And you don't have to always do it immediately, but do it within 24 hours. And all those posts, Grace, that you just mentioned that you've been on, that are still getting some attention. If you go back, so Patricia, I'm going to show you on your post. If you scroll up, okay, so a little bit down. So just a little. That's it. Perfect. So when you look just below your post, you're going to get these little. You're going to see all the reactions. You're going to see the comments. And then you're going to see how many views. Now, if you click on where it says 3 reactions on the top, on the number, click on that. It's going to show you everybody who's engaged with your post already. Now, the first thing you want to do is anybody who's a second connection, you want to go and send them a connection request. They're going, hey, thank you so much for engaging with my post. And by doing that, you are massive, and people are going to go, they don't say no, they just connect. I don't even ask them to connect with me. I just send them a connection request. Look at this. Okay, good. Click more, connect. Now here's the thing is I always connect, add a note, always add a note. So I'm just going to go, hey Mac, thanks for connecting, what do you call it, for whatever you want to say. But with your messages, if you just send a message saying thank you for engaging with my post. Now remember, if your post was more than a 48 hours ago, I would add the link in my comment saying thanks for commenting on this post, because otherwise people go, what is she talking about? Especially those people who are really engaging with a lot of people. They might go, oh, I don't know what she's talking about, I don't know who she is. But if you put a link there and they go, oh, yes, and guess what, it takes them back to the post. They revisit it, it gets more activity, it goes out to more people, and it restarts the conversation on that post, and they go, yes, thank you very much. And they then might even go and re-comment on their post as well. So it's just about rechurning those, and getting that activity back again. So, Patricia, if you go, that's your post. So if you scroll up, you've already had 63 views. You've had 4 votes. So last, I keep saying last thing, but there's so many nuggets in here that you just have to have. Click on where it says 4 votes, please. Okay, so when it comes to polls, this is the amazing thing. So now, Patricia, guess what? You have a lead funnel here. Because guess what? If somebody says bingo wings, great, connect with them, start talking bingo wings. If they say joint pain, great, connect with them and start going out on those. So, there are 4 of us that are connected on there. And who's Beverly? She's not on here. Okay, so that's one of your contacts, Patricia.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've already had one other person go and vote on this just because of the activity we've done. Okay, so you now have 4 potential conversations to go out and say, hey, you mentioned joint pain. Thank you so much for voting. When you say joint pain, what does it mean to you? And they go, oh, well, I've got this elbow thing. And all you're doing is starting a conversation and then say, well, hey, let me jump on. Let's have a quick call about it, like 20-minute free consultation. 20-minute free consultation, 99% of the time they get on the phone with you, you are going to close it because you already know they've admitted they have a problem. So Grace, same thing. When you talk about your racism thing, how many businesses don't know how to deal properly with race-related problems in their business?
Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with in workplaces. Yeah, that's anti-racism in the workplace. Yeah.
And I'd love to connect and talk to you on that because it's something. Ironically, being from South Africa and coming to the UK, I've had a multitude of wonderful conversations, and I've got literally friends from all over the world, which is amazing. But so many people tiptoe around the race thing and they don't know, and it causes such frustration in businesses.
That's
what
really
my doesn't happen.
Is about.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about that. But you could run a poll saying, just asking your audience, what are the things that people tend to struggle with in your organization? Always try and ask it in such a way that the person answering isn't making themselves vulnerable by, nobody wants to go on and say, are you a racist as an example? Nobody's going to click the button and say yes.
Absolutely.
But, you might, I know people who used to be racist until they actually got a bit of an education. And now they wow, they've realized they've missed out on a whole world because of their childhood.
Yeah. I spoke to one person who is South African, who was raised in the Bosa era about anti-racism, because he said he was brought up a racist.
Yeah.
But after our conversation, so much respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you put it in third person and say, hey, do you know somebody who's been through XYZ or was then by asking that, I can go and answer. Now, me being typical white South African, me going and answering, I'm not putting myself in the line of fire, kind of going, I'm a racist. Yeah, I know lots of people who are racist. Yes. I know family members who used to be. So, unless you take them through that education, make it easy for people to participate in your things and not kind of go, that's me, because people don't want to acknowledge publicly.
No, we don't want to do that.
But when it comes to joint pain, things like the stuff that Patricia does, I don't mind saying I'm getting joint pain. I'm only 45 and I feel like I'm 90. So
your friend.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go down a whole different thing there. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. And there we go. This has been a more interactive kind of session than I normally do, because I'd normally kind of also include a few slides, but I don't like PowerPoint, killing people by PowerPoint. Showing them by action is what I do. LinkedIn is such a powerful platform, but you've got to have fun with it. You've got to enjoy it. It's not what it was a year or 2 years ago. People want to see personal. They want to hear your story. They want to connect with you as the person, and having a personal post once a week. All good, man. Bayo, go for it.
Yeah, and as you know, man, I'm a bit old school, so I haven't got no emojis and none of that. I won't talk in personal. But I following it because I'm on one of your other courses, and I put a post of my holiday, just a picture of me, a few pictures of where I've been, and it's just smashing it. It's absolutely just going ballistic. And I wouldn't do that. That I would normally just put on my Twitter account or my Instagram account. But it is about mix and matching, as you've said in other sessions that I do with you. Mixing and matching, timing. I've learned so much. I've got to just jump off. But the two things I've learned, what question though is, how do I get my Twitter account onto this LinkedIn thing? So if you could send me something.
Just click my profile. Click my profile, go and edit, and then it will ask you to put it in there.
Right.
Just under your contact info.
I'd forgotten that I'd done that.
Yeah.
Until you said it today.
And a second big thing I've learned today was, where's my asterisk gone? Connections only. Oh my God. I look at that all the time, and you could go to so many different levels. I never leave it. I never just leave it as it is. But yeah, unfortunately, I've got to dash. If you guys want to carry on, it's your platform. Matt, I'll see you tomorrow midday.
Okay, I'll stick around for one more question.
Yeah, right, my question is, I noticed
Bayo, have an awesome day. Thank you for sorting this out.
Thank you, Bayo. You're an amazing man. Thank you.
Guys. Bye.
The question I wanted to ask is, I noticed you got premium, and I've noticed other people have got premium. I've thought about it, but what is the benefit of getting premium?
Okay, that is a really great question. So 99% of what I teach is using the free version.
Right.
Okay. I use premium because I run multiple businesses, but I also am, I help people. One of the sessions that I run is something called the Kickstart program, where I take somebody like yourself as an example. I do a 2-hour deep dive just for you, your organization, what you're trying to achieve, and we go through your profile, your content strategy, and your connection strategies. And I will use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to actually provide you with anywhere between 100 and maybe 500 leads that you can go and actively go and pursue today. So I do that as a 2-hour deep dive. There's a good questionnaire that you've got to go and finish and fill in. I can send you information on that. But so the premium service, the honest answer is 99% of the stuff you can do on the free version. You just got to know what to do and how to do it. I run a 12-week course where I take people through every single permutation of LinkedIn. I go through your profile. I go through how to get recommendations, how to ask for them, how to leverage them. I go through the content side of things, and you're going to get a copy of the cheat sheet. Anybody else who wants an access to the cheat sheet would need to come and jump on one of these sessions. But that cheat sheet will give you like how to post, when to post, what to include in your post, what are our hashtags, what are the top hashtags, all of that kind of info. It'll even give you access to some of the other free resources that I have as well. It's stuff that's taken me 1,500 hours worth of research condensed into a 6-7 page document.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So you can be on the premium to do a bit more. But
so the premium, so premium for me is, I'm going to be honest and just say, for me, it's a waste of time. Sales Navigator is worth it. Premium premium gives you access to a bit more data. So you can see who's viewed your profile, which is okay. But you can still see some of that on the free version anyway. And then also the premium gives you, you can message more people with something called InMail, which you get about 50 credits. But the reality is, I very seldomly read InMails because I know that's somebody trying to pitch me. So I'm like, InMail, I'll get back to it. 99% of the time, I've got 3 InMails right now. All 3 of them start off with, "Hey Mac, we found you in your profile.
I get those.
Our business does XYZ and would love to set up a call." I'm like, you don't know anything about me. You haven't looked at my profile. You're setting up a call. I mean, I had a guy who'd already done a web analysis for me on my website.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wow. And he goes, "We did this audit. And we found that you could really up your game with SEO and all these things." I was like, fantastic. And then I sent him a message back going, "Great. Can you do me a favor and send me the report? And we'll book a call."
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear from him again. You know why?
Yeah.
I don't have a website. No, I don't have a website for what he was talking about. For my Life Hacks with Mac channel, which is on this side over here, I don't have a website. And he goes, "I've been onto your Life Hacks with Mac website." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." Because I haven't.
Brilliant.
And he didn't come back to me. So there's so many people who do that. Oh, I've done this analysis, I can add value.
I get that. It's annoying.
Don't give me
really.
BS. Just let's talk. Let's if you can add value, great. If you can't,
this has been brilliant though, Matt.
Fantastic.
Just some reminders. But the polls, I can think of quite a few polls to do, because I do bespoke training, which is the anti-racism stuff, and then I also do online courses, and I really want to push those even more now. So
3 things for yourself, Grace. If you do 1 or 2 minute videos a week, so that people get to connect with you as the person. They hear your voice, they see your face, they see your facial expressions. No longer than 60 seconds, just 1 or 2 of those every week or every other week, just so that your tribe go, I know who Grace is or who Patricia is. Then the 3 types of posts you really want to do, there's actually 4, but the 3 main ones: one poll, maybe 2 polls a week, no more than that, because if you do too many polls, people just turn off. The other thing is the PDF post that I mentioned earlier, where you can just do screenshots of, these are the challenges people are facing. Have you heard this? Have you had this question? And it can literally just be 1 line per page. It can just be, you can really fill it up.
Got it.
Those, and
because I've got PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah, you can turn those into PDFs. Slideshow.
Yeah, because I've got that on my thingy already, but not in a post.
Okay, so you can
all right,
repurpose content. You don't have to go and recreate. So for you, video, poll, and those PDFs. The 4th one that I would do, and both of you can do this, is something called newsjacking. So newsjacking. Can I share one more thing with you over in 2 minutes?
Go for it.
We have 1 minute to do. Yes.
Okay. I can't even see my diary, and I'm worried that I've gone into another session. So I'll get back. I know I'll add value to them anyway. So okay. So I'm going to do newsjacking for you quickly. So Grace, I'm going to pick you as a guinea pig. So if I go into you talking about racism, give me like a bullet point of one of the main things that you talk about.
The reason why people avoid talking about race and racism.
Okay, so that's more than 2 words, but okay.
Okay, avoidance. Avoidance of racism or something like that.
Okay, so you can see I've gone and done a search on Google. Okay, now anybody can do that. But what you want to do is you want to newsjack. You want to be relevant. You want to be talking about last minute newsworthy stuff. So what you do is you hit the tools button, you go anytime, and you go in the past week, and then you go, okay, what are people talking about? This is what white people can do to end racism. This is white privilege by Tom Brady, leading in the NHS.
That's perfect.
So any one of these topics. So then, if it's say for argument's sake, you want to work with the NHS.
Yes.
And the NHS, so you can inadvertently, indirectly.
I follow them. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can indirectly go and put yourself on their radar by going and talking about something they're already talking about. So let's go and have a look at this one.
Yeah.
And in fact,
that's what happens.
Grace, have you posted today?
Not yet.
Okay. So, in fact, what you could do.
This is great.
So. I'm going to cheat here.
Because that's what got me hooked with the Virgin thing, because they were working on that. And for some reason, they got in and said, oh, can you tell us more about what you do? They haven't come back to me, but I did a presentation for them.
But even better. But now you can go and put that on your experience section. You can put Virgin as one of your experience sections saying speaker. And then add some info, because that'll add on there. So hold on, I'm going to go stop.
I like that.
Leave now. So
thank you.
No problems, Patricia. Go and have an amazing
day. Very useful. Even that last bit just now as well.
Fantastic. We've got well over time, haven't we?
We have. I'm just throwing as much value as I can out there today. I should really stop.
All right,
take care.
Cheers, bye-bye. Okay, so let's do this one for you, Grace. You're going to go and do this one. So in the chat, I have sent you the link to the PDF.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is go and, this is a bit of a big one, because normally you only want to have like a PowerPoint screen that kind of links to it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
what you can do is save that PDF
Yeah.
and then save it as a document.
The PDF file.
Yeah. And
Got it.
then why and how. So what you want to find in here is when you go and find a resource, you want to make sure that the resource, there's a couple of things that you have to be aware of when you do this. One is, more often than not, newsworthy information is sponsored by the person who wants to get eyes on the content. So
Okay.
as an example, when there's a news about electric vehicles have now just released this new thing, it's normally sponsored by the company who's released it, and it's a PR thing. So
Right.
I made this mistake in my security business, because I would like find an article about crime and what the police are talking about, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, go and share that. And at the bottom it says, hey, contact so and so security company, and I'm like, I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting results from. I was getting lots of views, but no results, because the article was actually redirecting them to somebody else. So
Okay.
if there is a competitor in here, you want to make sure that you're not posting it, because it's just going to reroute it to another competitor. But if it's actually NHS info that you feel is valuable to people, what you can do is you download this, and this is the Staff College leading in color, the fierce urgency of now, looking for you in these eyes across the public sector, and particularly chief executive councils and their teams, call for action to help resource support and stay inclusive. So you may go and say, like, literally go and highlight that section. Can you? Am I still sharing my screen? No.
No, but I've got it on my screen.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you on my screen. So you might go and just highlight that little section, go and copy. And then when you go into in fact, I'm going to save this so I can show you how to do it. And I want you to try and do this now if you can, because then you've got so I'm just going to go desktop, leading color, save. So if I go and I'm going to go and create I'm going to go home, post. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add that document, choose a file on my desktop. And I'm going to go desktop, leading color, open. Done.
Yeah.
And then title. So what is I'm just going to put that in there. So you see how now people can literally scroll through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Then, so I go done.
Yeah.
Then what I would do is I would do a little excerpt. And I'd go something like, no, I didn't copy. Right click, copy.
Oh, it's copying that.
So I'm going to copy. No, why is it doing that? There we go. In fact, I'll leave that headline in. There we go. So now what Google's going to do, because this is within the last 24 hours, 48 hours, last week, that this has come out. So so Google and LinkedIn are going to look at this and go, relevant content, it's been shared recently by a big organization. Grace is talking about this. It's newsworthy. Let's get some action on this. So what you're going to do is literally what I've just done now. Okay. You want to make sure that you've got that headline in there. And then what you can do is you've got that. I would always add credit to where I found it. So I would go, just seen this fantastic article and thought I would.
Oh, have you got Grammarly as well?
Yeah, I have to. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
It's a mess otherwise. I mean, you can see from my typing, it's so just seen the fantastic, I thought I would share, and then I would go, thank you at NHS.
Yes.
Boom. Now they're involved in my post. Okay.
Wonderful.
And then I'm going to go and ask a question. Is this something you and your organization
It's all right. You got Grammarly.
Yeah, I know, but I still try. I try and American spelling. May need to read. So all I'm doing is I'm not stealing the information. I'm sharing it. Because what you don't want to be plagiarizing. Nobody wants to see you copy and paste somebody else's thing and call it your own. But when you copy somebody else's, just an excerpt and go, hey, you guys have to read this. Thank you, NHS, for sharing. Here's the here's the link as an example, and you can do the link in the comments. So now you're talking newsworthy, and all you've done is you've actually added nothing. You've added that section there.
Got it.
That's all you've added, but you're bringing great value to people who are going to read something of interest. Now you go finish off with hashtag racism. You must remember that some of these are very polarized words. So, it will either get great response, or you'll get people who will love to read it, but they won't engage. So that's not a bad thing. It just means that you're educating, but they don't want to come out in public and kind of engage. So try and always think about, how can I make my audience safe to engage?
Because I put anti-racism as a hashtag often, and that seems to work.
Yeah, so you can go, but I'm going to show you a couple of things now.
I see.
Anti-racism, then I've got
NHS. Or Grace A. Graham, or Keep It Simple. That's the name of my company. However,
okay, but have you used it as a hashtag?
I've used it a couple of times.
Okay,
I'm going to use it more now.
So watch this. So if I've got an app which is on the top right over here, it's called LinkedIn hashtags. And basically what it does is it says to me here, get followers. So I can see racism has 928 followers. That's shocking.
It's mad, isn't it?
That is, wow. After the whole BLM thing that we've been going through, is that it?
Yeah.
That is proper shocking. Clearly a subject that needs more talking about.
That's what I do with organizations. I get them to talk about it without, in safety or health,
for sure.
healthy ways.
Okay, so that is scary. Okay. That is scary. So racism, anti-racism, keep it simple. So all of those, it's only 2,000 followers, not a great audience. One of the things that if you do, and I go hashtag, if you start typing, it will give you some suggestions. Now, if I go through that, those are all like anything to do with race.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, 9,000 followers. I'm still shocked though. I really thought these would be in the millions.
Are you getting that? From your hashtag, is that what comes up because of okay, so is that an app that
it's a Google plugin that's free.
Oh, it's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. But the nice thing is, before you even post, you can just go and see, okay, well, have I got enough of an audience? So, okay, here's 11,000.
Right. Okay.
Now, here's the other one. Okay.
Yes.
Now watch. NHS for 64,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is so useful.
So now I might go and post. Now I don't want to steal your post, but in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go copy, stop share.
This has been more than I expected, Mac.
Only a pleasure. I'm here to serve. So
this is more than I expected.
This is what I help my clients with. So this is, I want to be able to give people an example of what is possible. So if you go and have a look on the chat,
I've got it.
Literally go and copy that, put that into your own post, add your own words into it. Do you want to share? Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah,
if you can.
I'll share my screen.
And let's get you live and active.
I've got to open up. Right. So, here we go. So now I've got to go into LinkedIn, right?
Are we connected?
I did connect with you, and on your tab, I saw it said sent you a message to say thank you.
Okay, so I've hit accept. You need to sort out your banner so that you can read it, hey?
I know. Yes, I haven't had a chance, but I will do. Yeah, and I don't know why it keeps doing, why it's done that. because what happened is my computer crashed, and the only thing I had left was the transparent, the transparent one. But I will get that sorted. For some reason,
so what you may want to do is just go and clear your cache.
Right.
Hold on. There we go. Okay.
I don't even know how to do that. How do I do it?
Clear your cache.
Oh, right. Okay, my banner. Yes.
It's just not easy reading.
It's changed it. I changed this one.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Okay. Right.
And you definitely want to add Virgin into your experience section, because if you've spoken to them, that's a big brand name that people will go, okay, hold on. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, so 52 post views. How long ago was that post?
God, which post? Oh my God, I don't know which one.
Your last post was 11 hours ago, so that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
okay.
1 o'clock this morning. So here's the thing: when you post when your audience are awake.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was
I do this sometimes because it don't schedule one. So even worse, it shouldn't be scheduled for a time that nobody can engage with.
True. Absolutely.
Look at the core times that your core audience is going to be awake. If you're an international person, post morning and afternoon, but post at the prime time, so kind of between 7 in the morning and 9 in the morning for your core audience, and then maybe around lunchtime. Anything in the evening, I find very seldomly gets any legs. Okay.
Very true. Okay, good. I'm going to post this one now.
Yeah. So you're going to go to home screen.
Okay.
You're just going to copy and paste what I sent you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got it in connections, but would I want connections at anyone on Twitter?
No, you want to go, anyone on Twitter is fine. There you go, save. Oh, I'm really throwing out everything today, but I've got to give you something else.
And so I noticed that you put the hashtags on top of each other like that and not side by side.
You can do it. It doesn't matter. I just do for me. I try to make it look nice and
nice and neat.
Yeah, because you want it's how people read it, and for me, I like simple. I don't. In fact, that quote that we've put there for me, because I'm dyslexic, if I see block text like that, I'll freak.
I see what you mean.
So if I can split that up, I'll try and have something a little bit more reader friendly.
Got it.
So there, I would go to where the full stop in that quote, where it says it's designed to.
Where's that? Oh, where's that? Oh,
the quote a little bit further up in that block.
Oh yeah, here. Yeah.
So where it says it's designed to, and take that down a line.
Oh, take it down. I see what you mean.
Yeah, just enter.
Yeah.
Again, white space in between. Then you go to the next, and just leave one line in between. It doesn't have to be two. And then
I see.
And then go in where the next line is as well, and just break that up again.
You mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
That's it. So remove. You've double spaced those. Just leave it one space.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
Got it.
Okay. So perfect. Now it's readable. So now what you want to do is, if you look in the text box, on the chat for the Zoom, I've sent you another little piece of gold dust.
Wow.
Okay, so click on that. Open that as a new tab.
Oh, hang on. Text editor. Right. Yeah.
There you go. So go back to your feed. Now you're going to go back to the LinkedIn one now that tab's open.
Yeah.
And you are going. Click on that on your LinkedIn one. There we go. Now copy the headline.
This one.
Yeah. Go into text editor. Paste it in there where it says text editor.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Hit enter.
You mean this one where it says random text?
No, there where it says where you've just pasted it, hit enter so that it's, there you go. So now you can scroll down. And you can go and select which one of those options you want to put into your as a headline. So if you scroll down, keep scrolling. So you can, as an example, go and use any one of those headlines. If you feel, so the bold and strong, you might go and click on that. And now it's copied. Go back to feed.
Yeah.
And just right click, paste.
I see. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
I see people do that. Okay.
So now you have.
I'm just getting rid of the.
Yeah, that's fine.
Got it.
Okay. So now you've got that, and scroll down. That's perfect.
I can put my.
Now you need to attach the document. Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever you've saved that.
I saved it on my desktop for ease. Leading in color.
So I would, in your post, once that's uploaded, now you want to put a document title in there. Why do people want to read it? And in fact, leading in color, the fierce urgency of now can be it, or you can put whatever.
It's good.
You could put whatever the reason you want people to read this.
Bringing anti-racism to the workplace. That's what I would put. All right. Maybe I would put it like this then.
That's it.
Leading in color, bringing anti-racism to the workplace.
So when it's finished uploading, you can't hit, you've just got to wait for it to be uploaded before you can hit the done button. So it won't take too long. And then once you've done that, you want to make sure that in your post, you've gone and just given some kudos to the NHS and say something along the lines of, like, you really want to say, thank you for this content. I wanted to share it with you. Other organizations should please look at this. So you want to use words that will come up in search terms. Like, corporates, equality, focused companies, just words that are slightly emotive, but get people kind of go, okay, we need to look at that. I'm still so
equality
shocked. I'm still just so shocked with the number of followers on those things.
Racism.
Yeah.
Equality focused organizations should look at this or something like that.
Yeah.
So this would Thank you, NHS England. So we've got here, is this something you and your organization may need to read? So before that, maybe I could put equality focused organizations. Focused organizations could really, this equality focused organizations, this is innovative. Gosh, I don't know. May want to
check this out.
I don't know, follow
this.
Or take heed.
Yeah.
Want to become or be as innovative, because the organization I'm working with, they're along the same lines.
Yeah.
Innovative as NHS. I know we're going to probably get people come back and complaining about the NHS, but I think they're doing a great job, because I did some work with them about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So
there's so many things the NHS are doing in the background that people just don't know about.
They don't know. They don't know. Yeah.
I know they're trying blooming hard, but they're strapped for resources. So
absolutely. So here we go. Equality-focused organisations may want to be as innovative as the NHS. Is this something you and your organisation may need to read?
Okay.
And then we've got all these hashtags.
Yeah,
so we've got
it's all done.
Simple. There you go. And we've got the Fantastic. Wow, look at that. And it's got the thing as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hit
So
post.
I can't think of anything else. Yeah.
Hit post. Go.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, because you know what's great? I'm glad you told me to space it out, because actually if it goes to Twitter,
it's only going to have the first bit. Yeah,
but will it show it probably won't show the hashtags?
No.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but it will have a link to this article so that people can come back.
Brilliant.
And you can always go and repost it as well. I'm just having a look, just refreshing your page to see if it's come up my side. Boom. Powerful post.
This is great. You've offered more value than I expected.
I'm glad.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mac. And
only a pleasure.
So
good. Go and share this post with all the others in the FSB as an example, or anybody within your networks that support what you're doing right now. Just send them, and don't send it to them on LinkedIn. Go copy the 3 dots, send it to them on WhatsApp, email, text, and say, hey, I would love your support on my latest post, which I think brings great value. And because one of the things that people forget is they'll post it on LinkedIn and go, oh, well, I didn't get any support on that. That's weird. But not everybody spends as much time on LinkedIn. So if you then reach out to your own contacts, even in your messaging, go into your messages, have a look at who in your messages have recently, on your LinkedIn Messenger, you've spoken to and connected to, and you can just send them a message going, hey, great being connected to you. This is my latest post. What are your thoughts?
Right.
Just get eyes on your post. And then eventually, if you keep doing that, what's going to happen is you'll start getting organic reach as well as the ones that you are leading to it.
Fantastic. Good. So I've got 2 reactions so far on it, which is fabulous. Well, I did 1 reaction, actually.
That's perfect. But if you...
I done the reaction.
Do me a favor, send me a message this evening and let me know how this post is doing for you.
Will do.
But after you've sent, like literally in the next 15 minutes, send it to as many people as you can, because it's the first 2 hours that are the most important in order to get it to have reach.
Fantastic. I will do that. This is brilliant. So
anybody else, this video is recorded so people can go and watch. I didn't realize I was going to go for 2 hours. But I'm here to serve. So I hope that people go and watch this whole process right to the end so that they can go and copy what you've just done. Because news hacking, one thing, don't do this more than maybe once a week with news articles, because otherwise what will happen is it will just look like you're a journalist that keeps sharing news. You want to add your own stuff. You want to add those polls, those videos. You want to mix it up so that you appeal to different audiences as well.
Fantastic. That's brilliant, Mac. Thank you so much for that.
Great.
And
because you hang in there, if you go to the linkedinexpert.com, there's a link in there where you can book a 20-minute free consultation as well, and we can just have a chat. So do me a favor, go on there, and anybody else on FSB who wants to reach out and have a kind of exploration session, feel free to connect. Okay.
Fantastic. This is brilliant. Thank you so much for that. All right.
Only
and I'll see you soon. All right.
Grace, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.